Max, how's everyone doing today? Welcome back to the Altiverse. We're going to take a look at a little bit of everything. You know, I love to talk about ETFs, option-based ETFs, and the option strategies that power them, so we know what kind of return to expect from the ETFs, but also so we can apply those types of strategies in our own account when applicable. We have some interesting stuff to talk about today. Big win for the Republicans last night. They swept. Great win for Trump. Big win for the Trumpers. My volatility system is now bullish. Let's look at that really fast. It's given a few bad signals, but I think it's going to start working again. So it has to have a trend to follow. Lately, the market has been real choppy. The past month or so, we've traded between 580 and 565. It just chopped. But anyway, we broke out yesterday. Broke out this morning. Big time broke out. We're trading at 590 right now and going up. But the signal turned from bullish to bearish this morning. And the reason is because of this. This right here is the VIX of the VIX, and they're selling the shit out of it. Whenever they're selling that, they usually buy the market. So anyway, we'll see. Let's just say this: when they're selling volatility, the path of least resistance for the market is up. So we will keep an eye on that. Jay's coming back on the channel the 20th. I'm really looking forward to having him on the channel. I emailed him this morning. I congratulated him on some of the ULTY trades. He hit some of the ULTY trades pretty big today. we're going to look at those ULTY trades as well as the YieldMax trades, the whole bit. Okay, let's look over at the Altiverse. That's not the live picture of the Altiverse. That's just that's the Altiverse graphic. All right, here's live Altiverse. All right, so at the far right is ULTY. The average of all these stocks is up 4%. That's a huge day, but great stock picking, right? Because the NASDAQ's not up 4%. So you couldn't just blindly pick the NASDAQ and be up 4%. The Russell's up 5%, though, so. ULTY is catching a lot of upside. It's up 1.77% of it. These are just what the stocks are up, not what the option strategies are up. Like Coinbase is up $25,000. Or I'm sorry, is up 25%. Just the stock, not necessarily our strategy. Sometimes our strategy is up a lot more than that. It depends on what he has on. So let's talk about what he has on. All right, so I looked at their trades from yesterday, this morning. Apple and Amazon took part of their positions off for a profit. Apple and Amazon have on bullish loaded dice trades. So it's where he's selling puts to finance calls. Well, Apple and Amazon have been going up even before today. He took off some yesterday. I bet he takes off the rest today or another part of it today. On the Trump trade, it's kind of a synthetic risk reversal with options in stock, but it's a slick trade. Basically, he has, I think, 95,000 shares of, we'll just look at it. And then also I want to look at the hood trade. That's a broken wing butterfly, which is a delta neutral trade, which is a trade that is betting on a non-movement, not betting on movement. So let's check out DJT and hood. And then we're going to look at the YieldMax trades and stick around, and we'll look at the YieldMax call spreads and where everything is. Then we'll just look at the market generally, and then I'll let you guys go. All right, I'm doing my best to try to make this report better. I have the DJT trade up about $345,000 right now. Here's the profit and loss graph right now. Oh, I love that profit and loss graph. This is this synthetic. I was calling this it's a risk reversal. He's selling puts to finance. Not really. Heck, I don't know. This is I just titled it exotic. I'm going to think about what it is. Whatever. It's a bullish trade. It's a bullish overlay strategy, and you can see he's up quite a bit right now. But as time keeps on passing, he's over kind of a flat spot on the trade where the profit that he has right now will dissipate. He'll still finish with the profit, but I would imagine he takes his trade off if he hasn't already, or rolls it or locks it in some manner. We aren't going to do this one in our own account, so I'm not going to drill down too much on what it is. But the loaded dice trades that he does are great. Earnings trades, or just a great way to kind of take a cheap shot at a bullish, move in the stock. For instance, here's the Apple play. I mentioned that they took off some of their contracts, but this is what their profit loss graph looks like. Okay, they're over this big, huge flat spot. Now that's what the profit loss graph looks like right now, but it doesn't look much different than how it's going to look at expiration. But anyway, great job. Great job, Apple. So that one's also ULTY trade. All right. So I also wanted to show you guys Hood. Let's check out Hood, because Hood is one we could do in our own account. And after this show, I'm going to have the option class on, and we're going to talk about doing the Hood trade in your own account. And we'll look at an earning stock for next week. We'll try to find a place to do it in our own account. It's a really slick trade. I really like it. I don't know that I like it as much as the loaded dice trade, but it's a close second. Okay, so this is called a broken wing butterfly. And this is a trade that is delta neutral and makes money, pretty wide range of prices between like 23 and 27. Now because the broken wing element of it makes it where one wing is closer than the other wing. This is a 3-leg strategy. Generally, the legs are equal strikes apart, say 5 strikes apart. Well, on the broken wing ones, one leg might be 3 strikes, another leg might be 5 strikes or 6 strikes. Traders do that to put all the risk to one side or the other, because then all you have to do is you can say, okay, well, this is a good way to be neutral but bullish. You can be neutral to bullish. And if you're neutral to bullish, you push all the risk to the bearish side. But if you're neutral to bearish, you could do the opposite trade and you could push the risk this way. Anyway, it's a great trade. It's 3 legs. Watch the option class. We'll learn how to do it in our own account. Okay. So now let's look at the YieldMax trade. So we have a couple in here. I've shown you the Apple one. Let's look at the Amazon one. It's up $8 million right now. I mean, so this would be the AMZ trade is what this is. This is the AMZ covered call spread. And they're just killing it. I don't know what else you could say about this. So that's the profit loss graph at expiration. Here's the profit loss graph right now. So it's basically like they're playing stock right now. I would imagine Jay has a profit in this one. I would imagine he takes this off and rolls it. He locks in that profit, but that trade's going to be a nice trading profit. Plus he got a nice credit. So that's going to be great for people that have AMZ or people that have YieldMax or YMAG. So great job. All right, so let's get back to the slides and see what else. Make sure I'm not missing anything. But anyway, yeah, that Hood trade's a slick trade. We'll see how it's working out. Okay, I forgot about this one. The square, okay, this is the trade of the day. This is also a delta neutral trade. We'll also go into detail on how to do this in our own account in option class. So tune in for that. But I'm going to give you the real quick. This is a 4-legged trade. And at first I thought it was the loaded dice trade where you sell puts to pay for calls. You sell a put spread to pay for call spreads. Well, no, they're selling call spreads and selling put spreads at the same time. So it's like it's a condor, some type of iron condor or delta neutral type trade. So let's take a look at this. I put the trade into option strat. Now Square is one of the better performing, stocks out there today. He probably wishes he just would have bought calls in the damn thing, but you never know. So ULTY Square right there. I have that it's up 68,000 right now. That's what the trade looks like. It's an iron condor. All right. So you just want, this fund just wants prices to stay between 65 and 82 or something. Easy peasy. But right now, prices are firmly between there, but we also need a little time to pass because that's the profit loss graph at expiration. We'd be up $250,000. Right now, the profit loss graph looks like this. We're up a little bit, but as time passes, as we go by and we go into this expires next week. So as we go into, Monday, it's going to be worth more, but we want prices to chill out. If Square keeps going up, the price of it does, it's going to turn this trade into a loser. And that happens sometimes. And that's the reason why a person would do broken wing butterflies. You could do a broken wing butterfly. I'm not going to do it in this one because I don't want to mess up the trade. And we could just put the risk to one side or the other. So, but that right there is a standard iron condor. Okay, so we already talked about Apple and Amazon, loaded dice spreads. We're going to look at the call spreads. So this is the YieldMax universe. This is the buffer report, but it's also the call spread report. If you don't understand the call spread report, it's the little blue lines, but most everyone understands the buffer report. But the little blue lines, you want the blue line to be above the line. Below the line is fine too, but above the line is what you want. You want all three lines above the line. Coney's your ultimate case. So that means its call spread is in the money. This means that its stock, Coney, is up 18%. Yellow is Coinbase. That's up 25%. They have three different call spreads. Is why it shows up three times. You can see Coney down here too. But that's a good situation. Now, there's nothing wrong with Misty. This one, the blue line under the line means Misty's call spread is still a little bit out of the money. The further the line goes down, that means the further out the money it is, the blue line. Now, but Misty's price is doing really well. Look at that. Misty's up 9% and Mister's up, 11. Great job. Look at this. Ybit's getting all of Beto's upside, just about. XOMO getting a ton of upside, maybe more than the parent. It's hard to tell. In any event, that's great to see. So the YieldMax universe is kicking ass and taking names. Okay, well, I don't talk very much about these anymore, but as you guys know, I love the indexes. These, you can make a lot of money with just these funds right here. So let's see how they're doing. But one thing you can see, the red lines here are SPY. So the S&P's up 2% right now. But look at that's right there's the Russell's up 4.8%. The NASDAQ is up 2.2%. So that's something else. Now these lines down here, I guess that's Beto's line. That's BITO's line, right? That's right. 7.69%. Boy, that's crazy. Boy, that is crazy. But that's good to see. That is good to see. Now, here's where I keep track of all that stuff. I also keep track of the exact numbers, and here's where they go into the money, and it's color coded and stuff. But I'm trying to make the spreadsheet where it's easier just to check that out. But this is where I actually do the work. And this is where I keep all the trades. Here's all the trades over here. Here's that Square covered call trade right here. But I keep it right there so I can refer here. Right here's a list of all the different strategies that Jay has on ULTY right now. Of course, on YieldMax, it's just covered calls and covered call spreads. But on ULTY, it's all kinds of stuff. He has on 7 or 8 different strategies. I spoke with Jay over email this morning. He's real proud of the fact that ULTY, as of the other day, had 7 different, he called them builds, I think, but strategies, 7 different overlays is maybe what I might call them or something, in use on different, and different underlines in the Altiverse. So let's check back to the Altiverse real quick. Alti is up 1.77, but the Altiverse is up 4.29. And I just showed you that the Russell's up even more than that. But look at these stocks that are killing it. Of course, ZIVB is up nearly 5%. Now, I've shown you guys before, ZIVB reacts to the same thing that my volatility trend following system does. When volatility sells off, ZIVB makes a lot of money. And sure enough, volatility sold off today. That's why the trend following volatility system went bullish. Just remember, when volatility is, it runs counter to the market. When people are selling volatility, it's bullish for the market and vice versa, generally. But ZIVB is killing it today. But look who else is killing it. Look at that. Would you take a look at that? Triple QT. And when I see Jay, I'm going to ask him if he's disappointed in this one. This one has not picked up any AUM. I'm disappointed. Now, SpyT's has some AUM. No one's really buying this one, and I don't get it. Maybe, I think I have an idea, but let's check it out real quick here. Got this big white dog right here. I was sitting in that chair, but then I got up to go inside. I came back out, and he's sitting in the chair. We're going to compare with Triple QY. So, of course, Triple QY, these are both Defiance funds. Triple QY pays about twice as much of a dividend, but it has more of what appears to be NAV erosion, because the NAV erosion is just the dividend. Dividend causes depletion, but whatever, it all goes together. So, but any fund that pays a dividend depletes, to some degree. So Triple QT also has some of that. Well, this right here just lines up the total return toe to toe, and you can actually see total return, Triple QT's beating it. Now, and that's what we would expect. Generally, when you have less yield, you have more total return. In fact, almost always. In fact, if Triple QI was beating it and yielding more, it would be an anomaly and everyone would buy. And if they could do that consistently, it would be basically like free money and people would load into Triple QI. Triple QI is performing exactly as promised. It pays a bigger dividend, but it has a little bit worse NAV performance. Triple QT, a little bit better NAV performance, but pays less of a dividend. The great thing about Triple QT is it's uncapped on the upside. It's like the YieldMax stocks with the opportunistic call spreads. Well, Triple QT does that all the time. Triple QT and SpyT were the first stocks that did the opportunistic call spread. These are the old OG opportunistic call spread stocks. So I love these stocks, but you could see how much upside it gets by the fact that today it's up more than the index is. Great job, Triple QT. I love to see that. Now, YieldMax is also beating the NASDAQ. Kick ass, and so is YMAG. Kick ass. Of course, Tesla's up big today. That's helping. Triple QT killing it. Boy, that is great to see. I mean, everything's doing great, but I'm trying to look at the ones that are standing out on either the bad side or the good side. Clip is the only one that's down today, and it's related to China. Maxi's actually outperforming or is in line with the benchmark. And look at that. T-SPY is outperforming the benchmark. So those are two funds that I really like and I talk about all the time. Triple QT. I also like Triple QI, and T-SPY. These are all good funds. I mean, I don't talk about any. SpyEye is a great fund. I try not to talk about bad funds. I know some people disagree on some of them, but FEPI's a great fund. The ones I talk about, I try to, YMAX, YMAG, they've turned into better funds lately because Jay uncapped the upside, just like Defiance. Defiance was the OG covered call spread opportunistic upside uncapper. And they've been killing it. Now they lowered their target a little bit. Instead of paying like 50 or 60%, triple QI, they're paying like 40%. So I'm not exactly thrilled about, but whatever. It's all good. They switched to weekly. It's going great. We have a little bit less yield, so we're doing a little better on total return. We still would not expect to total return somebody that pays half the yield, or a third of the yield, like a JEP-Q, or half of the yield, like a triple QT. So it just kind of goes with the territory. We know what to expect. We've already looked at those call spreads. Here's a single stock buffer report. Yeah, this is impressive. Tesla, look at Tesla up 10%. I mean, that's incredible. Back in the old days when these cover calls were fully capped, you would have seen Tesla up 14% and Tesla up like 2%, which would still be great. 2.5% is great or whatever. But you never see it up 10% in the day. Misty up 9% in the day because he's uncapped the damn upside. Just like we've been telling him to do. People that watch my channel know that we've been lobbying him, and to uncap the upside. I'm lobbying him to do a different. I'm lobbying him on a different subject now, or to uncap the upside in a different way that he has not uncapped yet. So the only really bad thing on the list is SM. What happened to SMCI? Gosh darn it. Okay, so let's do this. Goldman Sachs lowered the price target. Oh, the auditor resigned. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, maybe we need to put a bearish trade on that stock in the option class today. That might be something interesting. Well, it would have been nice to put on a bearish trade yesterday. Of course, we didn't know yesterday. But maybe if it's a accounting-related problem, maybe it's going to, in case it turns into something bigger. At the same time, maybe we need to look at it and maybe put on a bullish trade by the pullback. Well, anyway, we'll look at that in option class. We maybe use that as a case study on how to use Jay's style of trading and translate it into money in your own account. All right, guys. Well, I think we've just about covered it. Let's take one back look at the market, see if anything's moving. S&P on a new high for the day. NASDAQ close to a new high for the day. Russell's the big winner of the day. Russell really reacting well to the Trump victory. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. You have a good day.